I'm going to download it. But for some reason, my internet connection is not, there we go, not 100%, but let's get it going. Let's get going here. Like I said, we'll have Scott and Bella pop in a little bit. We'll come off topic a little bit today. We're not going to talk about prices or how shitty governance is or DAO token this, project token that. We'll have some fun, but we'll go through the serious stuff first. Let me get my screen situated here. And here we go. We'll look at prices. We'll look at what's moving and what's not moving, the movers and the losers. And let's see if I can get my stuff to fit on the screen. There we go. So I love to look at the prices. And by the way, welcome. I'm Joe. If you're just joining, I see like 12 more people just popped in. I'm here for you. I'm here for the stream. I'm here for the end user, the retail investor, or I call them reckless degens, but you want to call yourselves retail investors. That's totally fine. I don't think you're investing in much. I think you're speculating and gambling like I am. And I'm okay with that because guess what? Crypto is not my whole life. It's just the most exciting and sad part of my life. But yeah, I'm Joe. I'm a teacher. I like to bring information to you to help you make good decisions, but do your own research because I'm not a professional investor. I don't give financial advice. I like to talk about crypto. I like to talk about AI. I like to talk about tech, finance, economics, of course, and we'll get into some politics a little bit today. But yeah, let's look at some prices and then we'll get into it. AI tokens rebounded tremendously, it looks like. I was looking at this yesterday and it did not look like this over a 7-day stretch. And I do sort by 7-day gains and losses. The only tokens that were up, one of them was USDC. All right. And the other one was Tron. Tron, which I haven't paid attention to in years, was one of the first tokens I ever bought. And I think I'm going to pay a little bit of attention to Tron because if you zoom out and you look at the actual chart, actually looks pretty good. I guess they have a deal with Tether, tons of stablecoin liquidity, and they did break some kind of record with transaction volume. They beat, was it Visa or MasterCard or whatever, with like $56 billion and whatever. We'll look at it later in the week. But if you're someone that likes to dig, Tron, just look at what's going on over there. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to get to it tomorrow, and I'll bring that to the stream later in the week, either Thursday, Friday, probably Friday. Friday's better. Then I go on vacation, and I'll release some old garbage content that I have on the shelf, and you could look at that, and you'd be like, Joe, this is 3 months old. Well, a lot of my content's 3 months old, including a bunch of articles we'll look at today. But yeah, Fetch AI, crushing it. SingularityNet, Lido, I don't know how that works, but yeah, Lido. And we'll look at the losers. Dog with that. I mean, if you watch this at all, the only dog token for me is the rune, the Bitcoin rune. And I have a bunch of it and I needed to do well because it was given me for free. And I feel entitled to, like, you know, a 6-figure airdrop. So we need dog go to the moon, the Bitcoin meme, to outperform all these other dog and cat tokens. Otherwise, we're going to be in big trouble. Jasmy coin, I don't know what that is, but Athena, we've seen this in the red, I think 3 weeks in a row. Not looking so good. I heard good things about Athena. I haven't pivoted over there yet, but I guess they do something with bringing yield from off-chain, bring it on-chain. Is that true? I don't know, but I'll definitely look into it. And then we got Notcoin. Notcoin is part of Tone, right? So I think it's part of Tone ecosystem, which we will also get into at some point. But those are your winners and losers. And we got some news. We got some wonderful news. In the meantime, let me get rid of my ticker here because you're going to get a seizure if you keep looking at stuff like that. I'll scroll my sponsors across the bottom of the screen. Shade Protocol, privacy preserving DeFi on the Secret Network. They sponsor the channel. Appreciate that. And then Kinetics Finance. Kinetics just airdropped their token, which it took some time. I'll give you that. They were originally going to airdrop in like December, January. They completely reworked their platform, integrated an actual AI companion into the platform. It's a perps dex, so it's not for everyone, but I like having them as a sponsor because it's the only place where I could trade with leverage. I live in New York. I live in the US. It's not easy. So I traded over there a couple times. I kind of broke even, and then I got an airdrop. So there you go. If you got your airdrop, I posted that on my Twitter I'll share the official link in the description after this is over. Don't go clicking on anything because you might get wrecked. And if you're from Terra, you're probably used to that. If you're from Cosmos, you're probably used to that. But just don't get wrecked unnecessarily. It's just not good. Speaking of Terra, let's talk about Terra first. I'll turn the music off. You guys can let me know in the chat. This is my favorite comment of all time. Bringing nothing new. You're right. I'm reviewing the news that happened already, and I haven't done a stream in 2 weeks, so a couple of these are old. But the Terra one is significant. I have to talk about this. So, Terra, where do we even begin? Maybe the most successful protocol of all time, and also the most unsuccessful protocol of all time. I mean, is there any other way to introduce Terra, right? And I'm talking about Anchor Protocol, which was basically a Ponzi. They had a weird algo stablecoin, and they paraded around not only the crypto world, but the TradFi, the mainstream media and conferences, and just boasted like we have decentralized money. Well, it turns out if you actually read the transcripts from their recent court case where they were sued by the SEC, they kind of just like built the plane as they were flying it. Even their lawyer didn't really know how to defend them. If you read the transcripts, it's like, holy hell, this guy's a lawyer. But Terraform Labs, who has Chris as the CEO. Chris was supposed to do a space with me, and then that went out the window when the court cases came in. But this is the company that backs Terra Classic, and I guess the new Terra. And now they owe only $4.5 billion to the SEC. And it turns out that this was always the plan for Terra. We were always going to turn this over to the community. We're going to dissolve. And when we're finished extracting 99% of the value, we're going to just give it to the community and let a bunch of people that have no idea how to develop the protocols be in charge of governance. This is a great idea. They always intended for this to happen. They always knew they were going to get wrecked. Never mind that Chris Amani and the folks over at Terra are paying themselves bonuses on the way out of undisclosed amounts. That you could see in the SEC hearing as well. Guys, I mean, if Terra is the only ecosystem where you can get wrecked a half a dozen times by the same people, although I will say Chris was not there from the beginning. He's a recent CEO, but he got a bonus for wagging the dog with Terra. They were able to spin up a whole other chain. Magically, it got to like a $500 million market cap or more. I don't know how this happens, and I think retail needs to look themselves in the mirror. And look, they're trying to sell off Pulsar Finance, a portfolio manager. How come when the ecosystem was worth like $70 billion, they didn't try to sell anything? It's only when they get demolished by the SEC. I don't know, but people in the industry are not happy because guess what? No one who got wrecked is getting paid out. The money's going to the SEC. Coin, and I don't know how they even have this much money. It's like hard to wrap my head around it. I know Terraform Labs has like a couple $100 million in mixed assets. They have actually diversified treasury, but Coinbase is not happy, and Ryan Selkis from Asari not happy. Basically, they say this is just a complete fail by the SEC to actually deliver justice. Yada yada yada. Same story. Crypto is going to be monetized by the U.S. government for quite some time, and you guys should get used to that if you're from America. I mean, that's all I got to say about that. Let's go to the next one, which is some good news. We got some ETH ETFs possibly launching in July. Looks like asset managers had to update some props. And yeah, I don't know. I think people front ran the ETH ETF because shortly after the Bitcoin ETF, we had an ETH run up, altcoin run up. It was like February, March. So I don't know what kind of effect this is going to have on prices, but I think this is good. Basically, the U.S. government is going to just keep saying things are unregistered securities, but then one by one, they're going to allow these ETFs so Wall Street can get involved. And, you'll have a bunch of paper trading of things that are supposed to be self-custodied. And that's just how it's going to be. This mass adoption is going to happen in like these OTC deals, I guess. I have mixed feelings about the ETFs. I mean, I think the ETFs, I think, put it this way, Bitcoin and ETH are definitely in a class of their own compared to the other cryptos. They're probably way better than a lot of stock holdings and a lot of other ETFs. But um, when I do the stream later in the week, I want to look at a tweet by Willie Woo, and he explains how the price is impacted by this OTC trading and how it's one way of kind of predicting where the selling is going to come from and where how sometimes the buying and selling doesn't affect the price at all. It's kind of not how crypto is supposed to go, but I mean, overall, do you want ETFs or not? It's a mixed bag for me. Bitcoin, yes. ETH, yes. There's a big drop off between those two and the others. We'll see how these are. We'll see how these are handled. I don't know. I would imagine there'll be a Solana one, and there'll probably be like a mixed DeFi one where you have like your Chainlink and whatever, Litecoin, whatever. You'll have other stuff probably, but obviously it makes sense. We have an ETH ETF coming or some after the Bitcoin ones. So these are going to go. Well, this week or end of last week they were submitted June 21st, a couple days ago. Right, I plan to do the stream on Friday. Sorry guys. Sorry, I got busy. It's Friday. So let's get to the fun here. So I use Kraken. For some reason, people think Kraken's like the best platform. It's okay. It's one of the few that I can use. I live in New York. I can't use Binance. I can't use KuCoin. I can't use anything, right? I could use Coinbase. I could use Gemini, which is like, it's all right. And I get to use Kraken. So this is such a weird story. So let me get rid of your comment. Sorry, buddy. And let me put up something here. So the Kraken exchange was basically hacked for $3 million by CertiK, who is a company that audits smart contracts. They audit platforms. And for whatever reason, crypto builders use them all the time. And they've been linked to multiple hacks and exploits and all that. I don't concern myself with cybersecurity. I understand that it's important. But we live in this weird world where all the code in Web3 is supposed to be open source. Well, if it's open source, people can copy it. People can tweak it. Inexperienced devs can start from like level 9 and move it to level 10 or so they think. And we got all these exploits. And also when these auditors look at code, the code that they audit is not always the code that goes live, which I've learned. So I don't know, whatever you think of CertiK, just understand that they're a cybersecurity company and they found an exploit with the Kraken exchange, which could lead to, as they put it, hundreds of millions of dollars in losses. And we'll make it bigger. We'll make it bigger for my boomer eyes. So here's their full statement. This is from their Twitter. And I'm looking at this one first, and then we'll look at the Kraken one. And I'm sorry that this might not be funny to some people who are nerds, but this is hilarious. So we put out this big tweet, longest tweet of the year, because we accidentally found this exploit, and we just took $3 million off the platform. And they found this in this deposit system. CertiK found this bug, and they conducted this big investigation. I don't know how cybersecurity investigations work. I'll never know. But here's their report. Here are the questions they were looking to solve here. Can a malicious actor fabricate a deposit transaction to a Kraken account? Number 2, can a malicious actor withdraw the fabricated funds? What risk controls and asset protection might be triggered by a large withdrawal request? So they're basically trying to see if you could fake deposits and then withdraw those deposits, and how big of a deposit can you withdraw before there's some fail-safe mechanism with Kraken. They say, hey, wait, this is not legit. We're denying this withdrawal until there's an investigation, right? According to their result, the Kraken exchange failed all these tests, indicating that their defense system is compromised, right? So So I saw this and I'm like, wow, that's terrible. Kraken screwed up. This is not good for Kraken. Good for CertiK for finding this bug. But Kraken was able to fix this in something like 2 hours. So that's good. And it's great that CertiK found this bug and not somebody else, right? Because we've seen exploits happen before where it's an anonymous person. They send the funds to like 75 different wallets, and then those 75 wallets send them to 75,000 different wallets, and then the money's gone, right? We've seen that. So here's Kraken. Kraken saying, we received a bug bounty program alert from a researcher. That's CertiK, right? And they did, according to Kraken, it says no specifics were initially disclosed. Their email claimed to find an extremely critical bug. So CertiK is saying that Kraken classified this as a critical bug, but now Kraken's saying that CertiK classified it for them as a critical bug. And they were able to artificially inflate balances on the platform. That's terrible, by the way. Regardless of what you think here, it's terrible. And they do receive bug bounty reports from time to time. People claiming to be security researchers, people claiming to be white hats, right? White knights. Crypto's full of these white knights, what I found out. And it's not new to anyone who runs a bug bounty program. And it looks like Kraken has an ongoing program where if you find a bug, they reward you. Great. So they acknowledge the bug, and they're saying that no assets of a client were ever at risk, but a malicious actor can basically use Kraken's bug, print themselves money, yada, 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 yada. Okay? And withdraw that money. And it was because of some recent update, of course, right? There's always an excuse. Oh, we never thought there would be a malicious actor accessing our platform and all that. They patched it, they investigated, and then they found that it was 3 different people that went after this were able to exploit this flaw. And they found out that one of them was KYC'd to somebody who claimed to be a security researcher. So long story short, somebody found the bug, right? And here we go. This is the interesting part. Sorry if this is taking too long, but it's my stream and you guys voluntarily tuned in. So the researcher, they exploited the bug. They credited their account with $4 in crypto. That was enough. That was enough to trigger the bug bounty. You get paid out whatever by Kraken, $500, $5,000, whatever it is. And they're saying it's a very sizable reward if you were able to exploit the platform by $4. But the researcher tells 2 of his friends, and the friends are like, great, you credited your account $4. Let's run it up. So they end up withdrawing $3 million from the platform because of the bug that was initially exploited for $4, which would have been enough to get the bug bounty. So here's a third party here. It's Cointelegraph, right? And they talk about this after the fact. Obviously, they've got some context here. And so CertiK claims they're white hat. Kraken says they got drained $3 million. And then they're saying that CertiK never returned the funds. Well, the original researcher probably returned the $4, but then there's $3 million unaccounted for dollars that were going to the researcher's friends. So there was a mess here. And this started on June 9th, and it took till June 20th to get solved. Apparently, CertiK had to hunt down the other 2 people. I guess they're friends of the researcher, and hunt down these funds, return it to the platform. But all the while, people were saying CertiK is holding this money hostage. They're extorting Kraken and all that stuff. Kraken saying they got exploited. CertiK saying that there's a white hat operation. I don't even know, as an end user, what to think. Do I want there to be unexplored exploits in my crypto platforms? No. Do I want anonymous people hitting known exploits on platforms that I use for way more than is necessary to alert and trigger the bug bounty that would have gotten them a reward. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. So I would imagine this is going to be on. I'm like, all right, this is going to happen all the time. Guess what? So this is DL News. They're saying that the hacker was doing this to other crypto exchanges leading up to this. So once you exploit one platform, why don't you just say, look, I exploited this platform. They have this bug. All these other platforms should, shore up and make sure they don't have the same one. But they're kind of in a sneaky way going platform to platform, trying to look for exploits, the same exploit, right? And look at these AI images on the crypto news sites. I could do better than this by hand, by the way. They're so lazy, it's not even funny. But they have on-chain records of this. And of course, Kraken is the big name platform that they hit, but there were others. They basically peppered all these platforms rather than saying, look, why don't you solve for this before I get to you? Because there could be other people looking at the on-chain activity. They could say, look, I know for a fact these wallets are from a security researcher's, it's KYC to a security researcher. I'm going to watch their on-chain activity. And if I see them doing something that looks like a stress test of a security system, I'm going to do the same thing and beat them to the punch on all these other platforms that they're trying to stress test. That could happen, right? That could happen. If Kraken was able to find out who the security researcher was by on-chain activity, I'm sure there are terrible people out there who can find the same thing. So do you want this bug bounty system to reward people who don't kind of advertise like, look, I'm looking for this kind of bug. I'm going to pepper like 10, 20 platforms. In the meantime, a bad actor can come in, mimic that test, and maybe they get way more than $3 million and they never return it. That's a disaster. And I know Kraken said, hey, no user funds. They was user funds. Were not, you know what? That's what PokerStars said. That's what all the poker platforms say before they got exploited and people got robbed. And it took years to get the money back. Anyway. Here's a question from the crowd. Is Kraken safe from P2P storms? I don't know what that is. P2P storms. That must be a millennial thing. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what that is. So, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to talk about Donald Trump and crypto with our guests here, Scott, Bella. Guys, give me a minute. I'm going to get myself ready I'm going to clean up a little bit here and get ready for my guests. And we'll get it going. We'll get it going. All right, all right. We're back. Thanks for giving me that little break. I kind of needed it. When I hear all the background noise from outside and like the chaos from downstairs in my house. I try to speed through my stuff and I need a break. I need a commercial is what I need. I need a commercial. But I'm about to bring in the guests here. And the guests don't really need an introduction, but we're gonna give them an introduction. We're gonna give them an introduction. So um Scott, you know him from Dark Side of the Podocast. He's never seen a bottle of bourbon that he doesn't like. We're happy to have him. And Bella, the producer, the one who makes it happen. Um, just really, she's like the bouncer of the live chat during the streams and so much more. So we're gonna bring them in. We're gonna talk about some fun stuff, and we'll go off topic a little bit. We'll have fun with the chat. So happy to have you guys here. Thanks for joining, everybody. Thanks for joining. I'm gonna try to get myself the same size as you guys. There we go. There we go. That's good. Bella, Scott, how are we today?
Having a fantastic day on my end, Joe. How are you?
Great, great. Scott?
Making money on fetch, dude. For
Yeah,
such a grim day, dude. It's been ugly. So
you
any
said
kind
you
of
said you
profit
were
isn't gonna.
you were leverage trading fetch on what platform, if you don't mind me asking? Curious.
I won't disclose it, dude.
Fair
It's
enough.
VPN and all that other stuff, dude. I'm not gonna go public with that.
That's totally fine.
Yep.
Anyway, I did watch your last production. It was Lavana on a Saturday, I believe it was Saturday or Sunday. And Jonathan, not a bad guest. I mean, obviously, you pointed out some flaws to the platform, some flaws to the tokenomics, but I mean, you were able to get a pretty solid job offer. It sounds like at the end of this stream. I'm sure I'm sure you're going to jump on that. Um, I don't know what'd you think overall as you had time to digest the whole conversation. I'm curious because I've talked to Jonathan a few times. I've just never done content with him.
Solid guest, man. The guy, look, he's informed. He's up. He's
He
well
is.
spoken. He stays focused. He stays on it. He didn't go on the defensive as soon as I started going at him a little bit. He's just a rock star, man. That's the kind of guest that you really want to, particularly on a show
Hmm.
like ours. I just think they're not used to dealing with somebody like me who is an actual investor. All right, I'm not.
Correct.
We're talking. I got 8 figures on the board at any time, so I don't think they know how to deal with somebody like me. You can't bully me. You can't stress. And the big thing is that you really can't explain it the way the way in a way that I'm not going to understand it. Now, I haven't changed my mind on the Lavana token, not at all. But it did inspire me to try to do something over there. Now, I've been over. I may or may not leverage over on their decks itself, man. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try something. If I was doing that, what I would do is. Oh, by the way, are you giving away my power bottom, dude?
I
He
said I,
is
s-
giving away your power bottom.
I gave away a lot, but I gave it away in such small increments. I got a bunch left. So
And
Well,
I
I gave it. I gave it.
Ambido actually got the number right on the nose.
Kidding.
So
Oh, fuck that guy, man. Everybody gets my money. But I gave it to you at
he
like a
wins everything.
penny. I gave it to you at like a penny, so you should have plenty left,
It's
dude.
like double. Yeah, it's definitely double. And the amount that I bought is more than double because I think I like waited a day or two and then I bought some and I have it on Astrovault. I think I bought like $100. It's like 250 or 230 now. So I'm pretty. Listen, your token is the only one bucking the trend of the overall crypto market cap. It's a safe haven. It's a
And you got to ask why. It's not like I didn't explain it all. I mean, I literally
no.
laid
Listen,
out the case for it, dude.
a lot of people. So we'll get off topic. We'll have some fun.
Sure.
But but I get a lot of crap on Twitter because I love to criticize proof of stake. And I think what people don't understand about proof of stake, and I could be completely wrong. I could not understand anything about crypto. With proof of stake, the tokens always get sold before they get bought. With proof of work, the tokens always get bought and then they get sold. So
Yep.
there's like a floor. There's a floor on proof of work. For Bitcoin, that floor is really high because of mining costs. For proof of stake, the floor is zero. You could keep minting tokens and selling them forever. You run out of buyers at a certain point. So, one of the reasons why Bitcoin is so successful, and maybe it's the only reason why Bitcoin got over the hump, is because the Genesis wallet never sold. With proof of stake, it's the opposite. the Genesis wallet can't freaking wait to sell. I think I think so much money gets extracted out of these businesses before they have a chance to develop that they don't end up having a chance to develop. So, um, yeah, I your token reminds me of Bitcoin because of the Genesis wallet is like off limits to the market, right? And I think you kind of need that to bootstrap. I think that's a better way to bootstrap than to just to give validators a bunch of free tokens in perpetuity, you know?
Well, the funny thing is that, even though we laid out the case completely 100%, I don't care if people buy it or not, dude. It's meaningless to me, man. Look, it's our treasury, and we need this. And,
Okay, so you keep it as a treasury. Well,
more or less because,
community pool.
it's one that's gonna be, we got apps coming out, on DeepIn, which, by the way,
Good
this
for
is
you.
where you should be or not. And all of the value that's accrued through these apps are gonna go straight over to that token. So there's a reason for all of these things. And, yeah, let's just say it's plans on plans on plans, all that other stuff. And I saw a comment up there from Flarn Chain. You bought, PBB, but you didn't buy shit moss. Dude, I've been scalping you since you went live, man, and I'm gonna continue to do it. It 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 is what it is, man. Look, we all know what meme coins are, and it's kind of people's job is to protect themselves. And if you can, I'm gonna scalp you, man. It's nothing personal, dude. It's just it is what it is. And Joe did say we're gonna have fun tonight, so there we go.
We're gonna have fun, but I have to get into I have to get into the political angle here with crypto. I think once you have an ETF or talk of an ETF, now you have like this political monster here.
Yep.
And Trump, unseating incumbents in America for whatever reason is like you're like a long shot. Trump has embraced, he loves crypto now. He just like, oh, now I had 4 years to think about it, and now I totally understand why crypto is so great. Um, curious of both of your takes on, is anything going to change? Is it going to get worse before it gets better? Is Trump really going to just, he for what it's worth, he did eliminate some regulations when he was in office. Is there a way that crypto sees a better path forward under Trump if he was to win, or is this just all about fundraising? I'll let Bella go first, and Scott.
Oh, I think there is going to be an attempt to make some changes, but I don't think they're going to happen quickly at all. I
You're
don't.
saying if he wins,
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
I wonder if a lot of the changes he's thinking of making, or whatever he can or can't do, can just be done by executive order, or they need like sweeping legislation, which was, you know, not possible his first 2 years, the first time around. I'm curious. So, Scott, what do you think?
I think people have a fundamental misunderstanding of the branches of government. So no, I understand what where you're saying there with executive order, dude. But as soon as you
Yeah.
start getting into the money aspect, look, Congress creates laws, Supreme Court verifies the validity of the laws, and the president, the executive, enforces those laws. So even though Trump may have a bit of he's definitely got a cult of personality going on around here. And I want to be real clear here, man. Look, I'm a libertarian. All right, both parties suck. They are not your allies. They're not your friends. They're not here for the betterment of you. They're here for the betterment of themselves. AOC was a bartender. Was a bartender just a few years ago. Went in and
New
got
York,
a
baby. New
New
York.
York, dude. I'm so proud of you. And every time I see that animal up there on stage, dude, I'm thinking of you. She takes in a congressional job with a salary of $155,000 a year, and she's currently worth $29 million. They're
Her
not.
district is her district. I know her district very well. Her
They're not.
district is a bunch of absentee landlords and a bunch of renters, um,
They're
many
not.
of whom are being subsidized by New York City to live in that nice neighborhood. And yeah, it's for people that are familiar with New York City, she's got like Astoria, um, was I don't know if it's what you call it, Greenpoint, but like Astoria, and then her other district is like part of the Bronx.
All right,
And
you lost me right there, dude. And I
yeah.
know everything about New York, dude, because I've seen
Oh,
every episode of Friends and Seinfeld, dude. I've seen
I
all of them.
saw
Have you
Home
ever
Alone 2.
Home Alone? Have you ever been to
And you've
Central
seen
Perk?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Have you ever been to Central Perk, dude? Did you see like Joey? Was he there? Was it cool? Did you talk
I
to him?
I saw it on TV a bunch of times. Man,
I know everything about New York. No, but I'm sorry. Where I was going for is that people don't go into politics because they want to enact change. They just want in on the grift. All right.
yeah.
Basquiat told us about this almost 200 years ago. He wrote it up. He literally said, "This is what you're going to do, and this is what you're going to see." And oh, look, it happened. And suddenly he's not, he's not really prophetic. He's just rational. And when you get rational, you get what you get. Is Trump going to really enact change? Nothing is going to change the opinion of Congress. When you could put a bartender into a congressional seat and inside of 3 years she's worth $30 million, do you think they're eager for change? Do you think they want to change this system? Do you think they want to reimagine the way that we do things? Absolutely not. They don't want to do any of those things. They want to keep it going status quo exactly as it is. And honestly, I can't blame them. Look, this is not their fault, man. This is our fault. You want to fix it? You want to fix everything, Joe? Everything right this very second. You want to fix it all? Uh, it was actually coined by Warren Buffett, but he's 100% right. We simply pass a law that says that if our spending, our deficit is greater than 3% of the GDP, no sitting member of Congress will be eligible for re-election. As soon as you pass that law, watch how quick shit gets fixed. I mean, immediately. But if you're not going to pass that, then you get what you get. And here we are. Trump is coming on because he's getting votes out of it, man. That's all it is. And don't
Yeah.
Yep.
don't get me wrong, dude. I mean, he is my lesser of two evils. And I can only write myself in as president so many times. You guys got to get behind Scott, all right? Scott for president. It would be a wonderful time. He's more or less doing it for votes, because if he did have that kind of foresight, he would have been sitting on buckets and buckets and buckets of Bitcoin that he bought
Right.
at $38. And
And then he
he's
wouldn't be
not.
running for office. Yeah. I don't know. I think I, I have a really jaded view of American politics. I just think it's all about fundraising. And I think that once you're an incumbent, you have almost no chance to lose. If you lose as an incumbent, something is you were chosen to lose almost
You're
because
the
because
sacrificial lamb.
yeah, as an incumbent, you could raise so much more money
Oh
because
God.
you're the middleman in every industry, especially if you're in Congress, right?
Well, look at
Uh,
how long Harry Reid hung on. That guy was as corrupt. I mean, he woke up every single morning saying, "I am the most corrupt member of the Senate," and people just made it rain on that guy every time he came. For God's sakes, he's got an airport named after him. It used to be McLaren, now it's Harry Reid Airport. Are you shitting me? Are you guys this? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going to get political here, dude. You asked a question,
no,
I
it's
answered it.
okay. It's
Yeah,
okay.
sure it is, because you want me for a soundbite. I see what you do, dude. I know what you do now.
I'm so good at editing those sound bites now. No,
You get
I
better and better each time, brother.
I just think it's interesting because in the past, I know that Trump did have data that the Democrats kind of downplayed, where he was able to target people who never voted before in 2016. I'm wondering if there's data out there that says these crypto people, these young, basically gamblers, they just don't vote. And if you could just tap into like their
Oh,
world, they're single issue voters, maybe he's got like some data where like this is but the thing is, all Biden has to do is say, "Oh yeah, I'll do that too." And then they neutralize each other. Oh,
yeah,
what
but
did Trump say? Oh, he likes crypto? I like crypto too. And then
yeah,
all of a
but
sudden they're back to even.
Biden's like the marionette. It's a guy up here pulling the strings that's making Joe
Well,
Biden's mouth go up.
he's definitely
I'll do the same thing. He's out of his mind.
I
As far
remember
as
him as a senator, and I remember all my student loan paperwork coming from his state. And then lo and behold, he becomes president and he forgives all the student loans, which by what he means by that is the government just pays the tab, the banks get made whole, and then that just gets added to deficit or there's increased money printing. Um, I don't know. I think that was an obvious move coming. Crypto is just, I think a lot of people in crypto, they think like you, or they think like me, or they think like Bell, or they think like people in the chat. They're all libertarian leaning in some way, or at least they think they are, which makes them probably the easiest single issue voters out there. I think Trump has to go way beyond what he's saying to tap into that because, like I said, as it gets closer, Biden can just say, "I'm going to do the same thing," and then
Yeah, but you're not gonna believe him. That's the thing. You know, the crypto voters. We'll lump everybody in. We all love to
yeah,
be classified now. We're just gonna call them the crypto voters. We definitely have one single axe to grind. Just one. That's what they want. And it's very easy to tap into something like this. Now, if Trump gets up there, and the rumors are swirling already that the rumors are already swirling that he's going to be talking in Nashville here coming up right now. But if he gets up there on that podium and does this and just
he
holds
wins.
this up, you win. All right.
He
That's
wins.
all you have to do is pull this out of your pocket. So it's not like Trump is watching this show, but if he is, just pull this out of your pocket, brother. All right. You got it. All right. You just locked up 10 to 12 to 14 million votes. And honestly, you're going to need them. You're going to need them coming up, man,
Yeah.
because the army that's against you it's impressive, dude. They're ramping up. I can't tell you how many things I've blocked and muted from Twitter because
Yeah.
it's
Same.
just the endless
Same.
bullshit of talking points and platitudes, dude. Like I know propaganda.
Platitudes.
This is
This is
where
I got two good comments, by the way. I got Bitcoin Punk, who he's helped me make some content before. He comes from the TradFi world, and he's saying that the economic advisors definitely matter. The president's not making every decision. The
no,
advisors are pulling and prodding them to to make moves, and especially when it comes to executive orders, probably the advisors do have a lot of say. If an advisor is going to get out there and say, "I don't get Bitcoin," it probably doesn't matter what Biden says. To your point, it's not going to be believable. But
no, man.
then there's this comment here. I don't know if you guys can see that.
I can see it. Belle can see it too. Look at her grinning like she doesn't care.
Now I want. No, we could get off this topic, but before I do, we got like peak engagement here, which is awesome. Um, I want to, I want to, I have to say, I have to give a public thanks to Belle because she was messaging me like during like the 2 months where I was kind of missing in action because my kid was like really sick. So she was checking in, and I appreciate that. So thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Did that work out? I was trying to send you money, dude. You never got back to me.
No,
He did get to bring
it
her
worked out.
home.
It
Okay.
worked out. Somehow it worked out. It was like it was just we can't believe it. We're like waiting for the next catastrophe, but it's like 95% already back to normal. So I'm
Th-
back on YouTube and having fun.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. I'm trying to offer you money. I was like, look, I know you need some help. Let me help you out. And you like didn't get back to me. So I was like, all right, go fuck yourself.
Oh damn, I missed that message.
You're a New York guy, dude. You understand go fuck yourself.
I
So
would
there
have.
you are.
Hey buddy, go fuck yourself.
There you go, man. It's so
I
proud
would
of
have
you.
took the money and I would have put half of it into Jackal probably. So
And
there you go.
you'd be a happy man right now. So
I listen. I interviewed Patrick last week. I'm gonna edit that video. I'm gonna try to get it out on Thursday. Um, it was just it was very cut and dry. Here's our business. This is what we're doing to make it better. Here's our market. Here's our customer. This is how they're going to use our product. And I was just like, oh man, it's so boring. It just might work because that's what it
you
is. Like
know,
we're so used to the pony show. It's like
well, and that's the thing, dude. I made a post. I've been getting attacked on Twitter just a lot by these talking head silly boys who are just going to have a really really bad time on their journey. But it was a nice simple post, man. Look, deep in. All right, there's a reason that I'm in deep in. There's a reason I'm going to be in deep in. I'm going to stay in deep in, because deep in, for all of the talk of real world assets, these things literally are. They're backed by
yeah.
servers. They're backed by skill. They're backed by technicians. They're backed by infrastructure. And what they do, hey Joe, listen, look at me, dude. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me, Joe. What they do is that they offer a product that's in demand and wait for it. Okay, this is weird, dude. I know it's weird for crypto, but people who need that product pay them for the service. And I understand that this is just mind-blowing when you consider the crypto world, because we don't want to actually invest in things that have measurable standards. We want to invest in ideas, because ideas are going to change the world. And high
I don't
float
think
is
I don't
such a
think this is gonna
fantastic
work.
fucking idea. And CK is
No.
giving you proof of that. But no, man, we can't do
Okay.
that, dude. We can't have businesses, dude. We're all about ideas, all right? We're all about bucking trends. We're all about whatever other canned bullshit response that you want to pull out. But where the rubber meets the road
Yeah.
actually is deep in.
DeepIn
So
kind of fills in this gap where it's like where like Web 2 is not scaling fast enough, but Web 3 allows for that scaling. And we were talking the other day, the data centers, they're booked out decades, right?
decades.
Maybe you could just like quick summarize that and then we'll get into some fun. But yeah, DeepIn to me, those are the products. When I first came into crypto, there were products. Like there were ideas for products at least before they were main nets and everything. This is early like 2017, 2016. Decentralized storage, decentralized marketplaces, VPNs. Now there's 10,000 blockchains. It's almost no products, and it's very
There's
aggravating.
10,000 blockchains, because the method over here in crypto is come up with an idea, make it very, very obscure, make sure that nobody quite understands what the hell you're talking about, and get funded for $3 billion. That's it. That's blockchain in a nutshell. That's your
Mm,
TIA, that's your DIM, that's your Saga, that's your ZK, that's every other damn thing that's coming out right now. And it's fantastic, because you don't actually have to meet any standard, because you're just an idea. And Joe, that
yep,
ideas take time. And when you say,
could
well,
take
how
a lot
much
of
time?
time.
It could take a lot. You don't know, man. We can't get away from this stuff. Whereas if you
Yeah,
look over at the actual businesses that are saying, well, we're trying to get, cash flow neutral to cash flow positive, and your idea chains are over saying, well, what does that even mean? And if you can't understand what that means, why are you here? Why are you opening, and why are you letting people buy your absolute shit? This is what's going on, man. Look, it's an
yeah,
extraction mechanism. It's to separate everybody who's listening to this right now. It's to separate you from your money. You are trading your blood, your sweat, your tears, your labor for their idea. And somehow, baby, that makes it crypto. So that when somebody like me comes on and says, you know what, maybe look at somebody that has a balance sheet, all of a sudden it's insane. It's, oh no, you don't understand crypto. I got one guy. He pitched us. Remember, Bell, the guy who pitched us?
Oh, I
Yeah, this
do.
was crazy. He's
Oh,
simply coming at me every single time that I make a post. He says, well, you just don't understand the tech world. Baby,
oh
I've
yeah,
been
yeah, yeah,
I've
yeah.
been here. I've been here since
yeah, that
before
guy.
there was a tech world. Maybe I do
That's
have a
so
little bit of
funny.
understanding about this stuff. So as much as I appreciate
What
your
he meant
opinion,
was you don't understand that in tech we get paid up front and then we
yeah,
tell you what we're gonna do. Holy Christ!
that's why I don't buy this shit. I'm sorry, dude. I'm not trying to co-opt your show here, dude. This is the
No,
Joe
not at
show,
all, not
man.
at
You
all.
carry on, dude.
Yeah,
No,
just don't pitch Scott or Joe and have it be vague and have it be the same thing everybody else has out there and
You know what,
expect
Joe?
different
Next time,
results.
I'm going to do you a favor, brother. I'm going to invite you to our next pitch meeting. The next people that come up as pitching the next $1 billion
I
idea.
would love that.
I
I
want
would
you to
love that.
sit there and just listen to it. Don't say anything. Just listen to it, because as soon as I ask a couple of questions, watch it all go completely out the window.
They're editing the PowerPoint slides on the fly. Listen, I've seen the pitch decks before. A couple like games, which is like whatever. Games are games, you know. But
And games I can actually get behind.
I'm okay with games.
of
That's
course,
a funny thing, dude.
but once you're issuing a token, now you are responsible for that economy, whether you like it or not. And if you're going to issue a token, don't say just because your company is disorganized that you're also too decentralized to get regulated. I I I never understood that. And one of the things that's frustrated me the most over the last year is that I'm trying to make content. I started my channel making tutorials.
Ugh.
It's almost impossible to make a
Nah.
tutorial because you can't find the information on how to use the damn thing. You just have to already know how to use it because it was forked from something else. That that that's not tech to me. That's not
No.
tech. It's piracy. It's like legitimized piracy, and we have rationalized theft at the same time. But everyone has a degree. Everyone's smart in one area. Therefore, they're an authority figure. I don't think this is going to work. I think DPIN and maybe one or two all-purpose layer ones will win out. I hope that's what happens, and I really hope that the governments around the world monetize it by going down and hunting all like the TFLs of the world and whoever else, because in the end, you could say that I'm fudding and I don't understand tech and I'm just I'm just upset because my tokens went down. But in the end, I'm not the one issuing an unregistered security.
Do you want to go there on this show, dude? Do you want to go on the unregistered security ban? I'm happy to go down the rabbit hole with you, dude.
But the
I
whole
really am.
argument is we're too decentralized to be a security. It's like, who are you to decide what's decentralized and what's not? That there's no cutoff for being decentralized or centralized. It exists on a spectrum at best. And do you really think Gary Gensler is going to be like, oh, okay, so you don't keep any books? You're decentralized. Like that's not what
Yeah,
decentralized means.
You know what?
no.
Decentralized is a goddamn buzzword, dude. You know, I know, we know, everybody listening to this
It's a
show,
spectrum at
because
best.
we have a very, very intelligent audiences.
Yeah,
I mean, we really
yeah.
do. And we both all know, understand here, man, that as long as you have the same top 10 validators on effectively every chain, we're not decentralized. Dude. We're the illusion of decentralization. If that's what makes you feel good, sure,
No.
we're decentralized. But there is no, it's simply not the case, man. There's a powerhouse validators, Genesis delegations, lots of smoky rooms and handshakes that are making sure. I don't really want to go down that room.
No.
We had a fantastic thread that was going on, and I don't know who spun that up, dude. It was about Adam, and I read the whole thread. I mean, it was a big long
The
one.
one that I was involved in?
Yeah, and I read the whole thing where they're basically reaching out to the community saying, "Hey, do you got any ideas for this? Do you guys have any
Yeah.
idea of what we could do for Adam?" My head exploded, literally. I
My
mean,
my my idea is you have to get rid of validators, otherwise nothing will change. And if you don't have the power, and validators are not going to get rid of themselves. At,
oh,
Atom can still be sold, right? There's deep enough liquidity to sell
sure,
Atom in large amounts,
virtually
and
everywhere.
it could be milked over the next several years.
Mhm.
But even if your Atom pumps, you have to look around and say, is it pumping as well as other things? You're still losing. If Atom goes up 100%, but the market goes up 150%, you're down. In my opinion, you're down.
You're
Like
smoked, dude.
it's it's like, I saw that thread, and basically the guy, he works for Atom Accelerator DAO. They're not a DAO anymore. They rebranded. They took the DAO out. They admitted they're not a DAO. I guess
They've
they
never
they
been a DAO, but
they
sure.
Yep.
anyone that wants a proposal passed through governance, you just say you're a DAO and you have a better chance of getting it passed. But he was saying like, look, we have these meme coins on Solana, and the community is what makes them do well. Atom just needs their community to stop being pessimistic. It's like a false comparison, because with a meme coin, the way that I look at meme tokens is this: they are a direct challenge to DeFi, because DeFi has been 95% utter failure or unproven. Let's say it doesn't work. The ideas need tweaking. In a good world, meme coins are like, look, let's just admit that the tokens are the products, and let's just launch a bunch of tokens, and we'll see which one is the best. And we'll
Sure.
stop wasting this nonsense of like, hey, we got a team call next Monday, put it on your calendar. Here's our white paper roadmap getting revised. Oh, look, we brought in a new head of product, whatever, devrel, whatever. They just they make up all this. It's like faux business. They want to like dress up like they're in business, but they also don't want any accountability as what exists in the real business
Did
world.
you just wait? Did you just say faux business?
Faux.
You
He
just said
Yes.
did
that. Yeah,
say
no,
faux
I
business.
know exactly what you said. Are you gonna say that there's not a lot of synergy here? Is that what you're saying?
No,
Or the proof is in the pudding? What other business terms can we go ahead and throw out, Joe? What do you teach, by the way? I know you're a teacher. You teach science?
I teach science, and I actually teach computer science too.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure. So you're a CS kind of guy.
It's block coding, and it's like a new thing where like Microsoft had to train me. So I'm mainly like a biochem teacher.
Okay, biochem. So what I'm saying is that you clearly have a degree. You're clearly educated. You're well spoken. You are used to talking in front of a camera. But I'm not
Mm.
sure I want you as my BD guy, dude. Even with
No,
your academic pedigree, I'm not sure that I really want you as my business development guy. But this is effectively the way that Adam is running right now, and I'm not getting off this. I get it, man. Look, you should only say positive things. I'm not going to, man, because Adam, right this very second, is $6.83, while Bitcoin is still at $60,000. But for some reason, everybody just seems to think that it's about messaging, it's about narrative.
no,
Let me take
it's
that.
about
I
price.
would make me full screen right now for what I'm about to say. I don't know if Restream could do that. I've never had a bunch of people on. Uh,
Boom. Gotcha. It's close
is
enough.
that where I am? It's like that. I was actually in a Twitter dick war today, man, and nobody wins on there. By the way, there's no way it can
I
happen.
gave up on the one yesterday too. It doesn't.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
that's
worth it.
never gonna happen. Uh, Depin. You guys know I'm a
Mm.
fan. I'm a fan because I've been working in this my entire life. My entire working life, I've been working in infrastructure. In this case, mostly data centers. I built DM1. All right, I was a guy. I was there representing Eaton, and I was DM1. I was DM all the way up to wherever the hell we are right now, which is like 46. Uh, Data centers consume currently 3.8% of the entire world's power. That means every single nuclear reactor, wind turbine, solar generator, or anything are being sucked up by data centers. 3.8% of everything is going into these things. You would not believe the scale. You would not believe the scope. You would not believe the roadmap that's going on from these things, man. It is staggering. And the fact that you're looking at a $340 billion industry, annual industry, and you're still saying, nope, that ain't it, man. Whiff hat. That's the future. The future is with hat. The fact that you can look at it with your own eyes and say, nope, I don't believe, man. I think this is crap. I'm not going to do this. I think Kajira is the way. The fact that you can do that suggests to me that we really have nothing to talk about because I'm not going to change your mind. And that's fine. It's not my job. My job is not to change your mind. My job is to talk about what I'm doing. Bella makes sure that I talk about what I'm doing. But with all of these things coming in, you guys have still managed to try to turn everything. DPIN is not a fucking narrative. DPIN is a product that is
Right.
backed by real world assets. We are talking about $1 million server racks. We are talking about fiber optic infrastructure that's running coast to coast around the entire goddamn world. We're talking about technicians. We're talking about people that keep the blinking lights blinking. That's DPIN. It's
That's it.
not a narrative.
I gave you a title. I gave you a
What
title.
did you give me a title?
He
DPIN
You're
head
you're
of customer relations. No, I don't give a shit. The funny thing is that I don't care. All right. I know the way that the world is going, and I bid in these things. I was buying a cash at 18, 17, 16 cents. So
yeah, you're better than me.
I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck what the price is right now because I work in the field. I was buying up Jackal at 2 cents. Don't care. I work in the field. I was buying up Kudos when it was .000 plus because I work in the field and I understand these things. Now, I'm not going to beat out the crypto Twitter talking heads. I'm just not going to. I don't have the face for that. But I'm right. 100% right. 1,000% right. My wallets back me up. Reality backs me up. And 2 years from now, everything else is going to back me up as well. So, as much as I appreciate White Whale, as much as I appreciate the Fin tokens, as much as I appreciate something like ZK, which is basically spinning up and saying we're going to be a better Arbitrum. How's Arbitrum doing, by the way? A little wobbly.
All those layer twos are going to get slaughtered, and I love holding ETH for that reason. I listen. ZK technology should be a feature of an application,
Yep,
not a layer one. It is
absolutely
a
not.
feature. It is it's like a wrapper, right? So, man, Matic Matic did so well. It had all these copycats. I feel they're all going to come down at a certain point, and there will be one or two layer twos that get a lot of volume. But in the end, ETH is going to benefit because it's still ETH, right? Like base, great. All this volume is moving to base. You still got to kind of go through ETH unless you want to come from
Mhm.
a centralized exchange. I'm happy with my ETH being my number 2 in my portfolio. I know that eventually my hope is that Jackal ends up being number 1 just through
Oh,
price appreciation, and I would love to see Astrovault number 2 because I really like what they're doing. I really am scared that Archway doesn't know what it's doing, but we'll see, I guess, when the unlocks happen.
Archway burned themselves a long time ago, and they have the crypto hubris. Joe, I'm just going to say crypto hubris. Do you understand what I mean by that?
I know exactly what that is.
Well, why
It's
don't you explain what I mean by crypto
sure.
hubris then?
Crypto hubris is when you and your roommate in college, you both bought a token when it was a penny and then it went to $1. You take that money, you graduate college, and you say, I'm going to start a tech company because I can't work in the field. So what you do is you just go on Twitter Spaces and Discord, whatever talks, and you just talk as long as you can about something related to crypto, and you just launch a token. And it works great. It works good. The VCs and retail, they eat it up. And then once the token is launched, you think your job is done. You just feel good about yourself, and that's the hubris. Is that my close?
And you're pretty well in the ballpark, man, because then you actually realize that the thing that you'll never realize, and that the most of the devs out here don't realize, is that you literally have a fiduciary responsibility to the people who came in behind you. But crypto doesn't think that way. Crypto doesn't care at all. What they care about is, as long as I got mine, I don't really care about you. And that's fine. I just wish you would message appropriately so that we can all make this decision. And that's a funny thing, Joe.
Absolutely. I'm okay with that.
Everybody knows. We all know that they're in it for themselves and that they are literally working against their own investors to extract as much value from their investors as they possibly can, so that they can get the house in Costa Rica and a big yacht and spend their time going to conferences and talking, patting themselves on the back. But I just wish they would message like that. Just go ahead and say, we all know it's pretty clear based on your performance and your absolute silence in a bear market. By the way, this is not what you do when the market goes bad. You don't hide. You don't cocoon up or do, you're not a possum now. All right. What you do is you get out in front of it and you say, this is what we're doing. We understand, and let's do it. But we don't do that. Crypto doesn't do that because marketing doesn't matter. We don't care about marketing. We have a token. What do we need marketing for, Joe?
I agree with you, and that's why I look at NFTs in a more like kind of positive lens, because they come right out and tell you, say, look, I'm selling these NFTs.
I'm selling JPEGs, man.
I'm selling this. This is my roadmap. If I sell all these NFTs, I think I could hit this roadmap. I'm crowdfunding. Like that's what NFT collections are about, other than like the straight up standalone art. They're crowdfunding some vision that they have. You buy the NFT, you believe in that. If you like the NFT on top of that, that's like a bonus. If the NFT does a little something for you in the background, double bonus. NFTs are like consumer products, like a pack of baseball cards. You buy them, you get what you get, you walk out the store. Tops doesn't owe you anything. Upper Decker, they might send you something in the mail if you fill out.
Did you say Upper Decker? It's
Upper
Deck, dude. Upper Deck.
Upper Decker. Oh my God. It's my last glass of Sambuca.
Little Freudian slip there, huh?
If anyone can describe an Upper Decker in the chat, you get nothing. But I wanted to.
Belle does it. Look at her. You know why she's laughing? Because she does it. I heard her say the other day. She said, I went to like a party at this really, really extravagant place in Des Moines, and she said, I've never upper decked in a place this nice before. So I was like, my God, that's why she's my producer, dude.
Yeah.
She said, I've never upper decked a house this nice before. So it's fantastic.
Anyone that could describe an Upper Decker, I'll give you one shitmost token. How about that?
One shitmost. Do you have any shitmost, dude? Are you there for it?
No, I don't buy Vile tokens. I only buy Power Bottom, and my other Vile token is just Astrovault right now. I'm mad about Astrovault. I'm mad.
Why are you mad? Why are you mad, man? Go full screen for this, Joe. Come on, you got all the buttons in front of you, dude. Go full screen and explain why you're mad about Astrovault.
I'm not mad at Astrovault team or the platform. The only thing that I don't like about Astrovault is that extra click just to view the dashboard. They got to get rid of that. Just I shouldn't need a wallet to see the dashboard. But I don't like that it takes so long to launch Outpost and they need Outpost desperately.
Yep.
I
I'm
like
not
where they're
arguing that, man.
I like where they're looking. Within Cosmos, there's like one choice. Like if you're a Cosmwasm app, you kind of have to go to Neutron. But what's at Neutron? It's Astroport. They already have dexes. There's going to be other consumer chains that launch dexes. It's not going to be great. Astrovault, and I talked to Eric about this, and I'm very optimistic about aggregators because I don't think I should ever have to use a dex. I think I should just type into the chat, I want this token, and somebody should come up here, do this swap, click, and then I have the token. I should never have to deal with the infrastructure as a beginner end user. I should never have to do that. And the aggregators for Cosmos should have come yesterday, and they're not even close. So I don't know. I think that any ecosystem that doesn't have meme coins needs outbid, and any ecosystem that has a bunch of failed dexes needs Astrovault. And I would love to see Astrovault on Solana and outbid on Cardano. I really would. So let's
Crypto
let's
Inferno,
go.
dude.
No, this is not Crypto Inferno, but I would like to pivot to something completely unrelated.
Okay.
Have some fun, and it's like questions I would have normally asked you anyway if we were like sitting on the deck drinking beers.
Sure.
Which I might have to drop in on Iowa this summer. I don't know. I gotta work it out on my end, but we'll handle it in DMs. But I want to know, like I asked you today in DMs, your wheelhouse for music. You said 80s, right? But also you said like some 70s like disco. So I got some bands, and I want to know like where you would rank them.
All
Bella,
right, hit me.
of course. So my first concert ever was Black Sabbath and Pantera.
Oh,
Right. So Black Sabbath is on the list. I still listen to Ozzy. Where's Black Sabbath? Do you consider them like an 80s band? They're like span like at least like 25,
dude,
30 years, right?
you're
So
talking about one of the absolute influential bands
I have a
that
whole list here. 80s
that
was epic.
drove into the hard rock era. I have some vinyl albums. One of them is I Sold My Soul for Rock and Roll, and I guarantee you probably have it too if you're a vinyl kind of guy. The double album, you remember that?
I
Sold My Soul.
I have vinyls, but I have vinyls over here. I have no Black Sabbath. I've got like a lot of country and like 50s stuff on vinyl. I don't think I have any rock, like what I would consider to be like rock albums on. I have like Allman Brothers.
Then
Does that count?
you disappoint me severely, dude. You don't
Okay,
have I Sold My Soul for Rock
Yeah.
and Roll. You don't have Kiss Double Platinum on vinyl. Come
I
on.
don't like Kiss.
Come on.
I do not like Kiss.
Then
But they're
you
on my
suck.
list.
You are
Don't like.
wrong.
Nah,
They are literally
wrong.
New York people. All right, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Nah,
I've lost like
I don't like
90% of my
Kiss.
respect from you right there.
I
You're
got two
talking about a
80s bands I
band.
don't like, and I'm gonna take heat from you. Obviously, I don't like Kiss. I do not like Aerosmith. I like one Aerosmith song. I could live without Aerosmith. I could definitely live without Kiss. I like for 80s.
All right,
Man,
before you continue, let me address this. Are you familiar with the song "Dream On"?
that's
Have
my
you
only
heard this?
song I like. I love that
Okay,
song.
that
It's the
song
only
came
one.
out in 1972.
70. Yeah, it's a 70 song. Yeah,
1972, you
it's
fuck.
great.
And you're going to tell me that a band that has made it the entire way from then until now, where you have the zombie version of Steven Tyler, this is a band that made it through the entire way. And you're going to say, I don't like Aerosmith. What don't you like about them? The fact that they stuck to it,
I
the
don't
fact
know.
that they never bent the knee, the fact that they never said, fuck, we're going to do a disco song. We're going to do some pop. That they never did any of these things, that they said their music was tried and true
I'm not
from the
saying they're
time
not
they released
good.
it. No, that's exactly what you said.
I'm
You
just saying
said, I don't know their album. Fuck you.
I don't like this song. I don't have like those like I got Johnny Cash, I got Willie Nelson, I got all my vinyls are like more mellow stuff than what you're talking about. All right. Obviously, okay, so Aerosmith or
God,
Black
you
Sabbath.
suck. So many
A-
different levels you suck
If
right now.
if you had to run over your albums with a car, would you save Black Sabbath or Aerosmith? I know you're gonna say Black Sabbath.
I would say Black Sabbath, man. Come
Yeah,
on,
okay, so there you
dude.
go.
All right, like I'm
Yeah.
not, but it's not, but it's no, in no way am I am I denigrating what Aerosmith has done, dude. They changed, they are Aerosmith, man. There's bands that just go down as one of those
No, no.
forever bands. One of them is Kiss, and one of them is Aerosmith, and apparently you don't like either. So I'm just saying, you
Kiss.
suck, dude. You
I'm not
suck
saying they're
all the
not
way
good. I'm
down. You're
just saying
bad.
I don't love them. I like all right, so I'll go down my list.
Okay,
This was like from Google. So U2, is
okay.
that an 80s is that an 80s band for you? They had U2 number 1 80s band. I
I'm not crazy about you two.
I liked them when I was young. I don't really like them now. Bruce Springsteen is 80s to me. That he's like quintessential 80s.
I
He's
liked
like
Bruce Springsteen until he
Block
started getting
Party.
political, and then I was like, "Okay, I'm done
Fair,
with you, man. You don't give a
fair, fair.
fuck about half the country. Fine, dude. You go be born in the USA on your side of the aisle, and I'm good with it, man. You make your music. I won't listen to it. We've come to an accord. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, no, I like old Bruce Springsteen when he was like young and he had like more soul in his voice. And 80s obviously like Born in the USA is like a radio song, right? But a lot of his other stuff is good. I
You
still
know,
listen to Bruce
did you
Springsteen.
know that Monica was in one of his videos? You remember
Yeah.
Monica from
Mhm.
Friends? Yeah, she was in
She
one of
was
those
in
videos, man.
Dancing in the Dark, right?
Dancing in the
Dancing in the
Dark. That was her. That
Yeah.
was she.
Yep, yep,
She was
yep.
there doing her thing. That was Monica from Friends. So that's as real as Bruce Springsteen is that he literally paid an
He put a
actor.
plant he
He
put a plant in
put
the
a
audience.
plan to pretend that you like him. All right. Look, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm sorry. Carry on, dude.
I got Metallica. Do you consider them 80s? They're like another like I consider them more
Uh
90s, but that's
I
because I was a teen in the 90s, so that's when I kind of
their
discovered
best
Metallica.
music came out in the 80s. All right.
So
Metallica is one of
so
those
like
bands that put out effectively 3 perfect albums. The first 3 that they
Fade
put
to
out.
Black and like Master of Puppets, right? Like those are the
Those
older
were
ones.
the 3 perfect albums. The Black Album got a little wishy-washy, and
Black.
after that, they
Yeah.
completely sold out, man. The Girl Garage Days Revisited and all that shit. No, they were crap. But when they were in their heyday, when they were still struggling, had the eye of the tiger, we're gonna change the world, they were fantastic, man, and there's nobody that's gonna dump down on Metallica, man. Come on.
I saw Metallica live recently, and the dude who came out there to like warm up the instruments blew my left ear out.
Sure.
So just warming
Welcome
up,
to it, dude.
and I was
Matt,
like, "Damn!" I said, "This is not going to be a good show for me." And the whole show, I couldn't hear any of the vocals. I could only hear the music. So for 2 years, my ear was ringing, and I went to the
you're
doctor.
you're welcome, dude. You got the
I
experience,
went
man.
to the doctor, and this is a doctor, a guy who went to medical school. He went to school for like 45 years. He goes, "Yeah, so the best thing to do is just don't chew ice cubes." I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
The
But
fuck are you
anyway,
talking about? Is
I
that
did
a thing?
so for 2 years my ear was ringing, and then I did keto diet, and then instantaneously it stopped ringing. So I'm ready for another Metallica show.
There you go, dude. The secret is protein, man. That's it. I got nothing else there. You did
uh,
like you,
all
what?
right. Top Cat's chiming in saying, yeah, her first concert ever was Slipknot in South Carolina.
That'd be a good show. I like Slipknot. I'm kind of okay with it. You know, literally, Belle. Joe said he's not going to bring Bella on if she's here to work, but you just can't help yourself, can you? You
No,
cannot help yourself. You're gonna look at that. She's gonna work. She's gonna do it, Joe. You know what?
that's what
Hell
I
with you.
do.
Are you getting back to your list, dude? Are we gonna talk about
Here's
crypto or
one.
what?
No, we're done. Crypto's it's toast right now. It's toast. We need
It's bad.
if there's an Osmo ETF, we're good, but otherwise we're not
Oh,
good. But um he Metallica less than Pantera. I saw Pantera live also. They're pretty good. I mean,
there's nothing
I
wrong
used to
with
listen to
Pantera.
I used to
They're
listen to
they
Pantera all the time.
yeah,
Cem-
man. They never had
Cemetery
this.
Gates,
Yeah, they
good
never
show.
really had the single level focus that Metallica did, man. That's the whole thing. I saw Metallica in a bar before they were Metallica. That's
That
the
was their
thing.
big thing, right? They used to give
Yeah,
out tapes at the bar, and then all of a sudden they were like suing a teenager for Napster. I remember
it
that.
was fantastic, dude. But I was one of the people that would stand up there during the opening act, and we would just turn our back to them because there's 85 people in the bar, and we would literally turn our back to them, and we were all wearing like leather denim jackets with Metallica written across the top of it, and we turn our back because we're hip, we're cool, we're with it, and all we're waiting for is Metallica. And a couple of those bands I saw was fantastic. One of them was called Flotsam and Jetsam. You'd never heard of them. You've never heard of Flotsam and Jetsam, but the bassist was named Jason Newsted. Does that ring a bell?
He quit. Yeah, he quit.
Yeah,
He
and
hurt
guess
his,
who
he hurt his neck.
yeah, and guess who he ended up going with when he left Flotsam and Jetsam? He ended up being the bassist for Metallica.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, there's a lot of
He
shit that
quit
went
two
on in that.
bands.
He
He
did,
quit two bands.
he did, man. Great bassist. I mean, he's not fantastic. He's not Flea, but he was a really, really good bassist. Are you giving away more of my money, Joe? You know I have to buy this shit back, right? I appreciate
No,
it, man. Go ahead, give it out, man. Let me put me to
my
work.
audience, they're gonna LP it and hold the bag at the end of the day.
No,
It's
they're
fine.
not gonna. They're gonna sell it off, and I have to buy it back, dude. I'm building something here. You fuck.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So Jason Newsted quit, and they replaced him with the bassist from Soundgarden or another band, right?
Yep.
Or Black Sabbath. Soundgarden?
No, I think it was Soundgarden. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. They did a documentary about
And he
that. I remember
wasn't
that.
really good. I'm gonna pick a number, and you can send me back the power bottom. I'm gonna go with number 3.
All right. Well, I use a random number generator, so I
You
can't rig this.
suck. God, there's so many levels that you suck tonight. Go ahead. Sorry. It's not even my show. I'm like, go ahead, Bell. It's not my show, dude.
Hey Siri, cancel my flight to wherever, Iowa.
Dude, you need to come out here. Look,
fly over city, Iowa, to cancel that flight.
Look, Joe, I will buy your plane ticket. I'll put you up in a hotel. You come on out here, but you got to do a show from the deck, dude. All right, we got to be
That's the only
outside,
reason why
facing
I'm
each
coming.
other. All
I'm gonna
right,
bring you some
drinking
of that.
heavily. I'm gonna make sure you're sauced before we even start. All right,
Doesn't take much.
Bell's running the board. I just want to hear what comes out of you. That's the whole thing.
Nobody's
do I need to have my paramedic brother on standby for this just in case? I mean,
probably.
No,
I don't know if me and Joe
I'm
are
good.
gonna
I don't
start
get
fighting
sick.
or not.
I don't get sick. I'm gonna bring some of our famous New York City bourbon out there, and
I'm down, dude. I'm a big fan of any bourbon. You know what I drank? I didn't put it on the stream, but Kajira. I actually, everybody's so hot and masturbating over Kajira. I bought their 10-year, and their 10-year was good. So I said, okay, I got to try the 25. 25 is $1,000 a bottle plus shipping and all that other good stuff. And I bought the 25. I was gonna do a Kajira stream. Me and Bell were just gonna do a Kajira stream and drink $1,000 worth of booze as we get $3 worth of tips. How many tips did you get tonight, Joe? By the way, zero, not a one, man. Welcome to my world.
I'm good. I'm not monetized. So
no, well, we just
can they could send tips anyway.
Do you have a crypto wallet? The fuck world are you living in here, dude? You disappoint me, man. I'm sorry, I'm looking at a comment. Where did you even find the Kajira 25 online in America? Sir, if you could, Scott at thepodcast.com, I will give you a direct link. You need to try this. It's $1,000 for a bottle, $1,000 a bottle. But I'll tell you what, and I've never really been a fan of Japanese bourbons, but boy, they knocked it out of the park with this one, dude. I'm telling you, man, you get this and you have a drink. Be on the deck. All right, be on the deck. I'll get a special bottle. We'll cash that thing during the stream. We're gonna be like the Who smashing guitars after the end of a show, and we're gonna drink $1,000 worth of bourbon during a single show. But I think it's a good I think it's a good way to go. And when you taste it, you're gonna say, "Yeah, that's worth $1,000."
Okay, old man is sitting there going $1,000 a bottle and WTF? You pay for good booze.
Man, it's like the difference between street crack and really good crack. All right, you take the really good stuff. It's hard to go out there behind the strip club now and buy $20 rock. So, like I would know. I would know.
I think it would be so funny if I go to Iowa, hanging out on the deck, got my flip flops on, got my bourbon. I'm like in my element. We're doing a show, and there's nobody watching it. I think that would be so funny,
dude.
Not a single person. It would be so great. I don't know why I think that's funny, but I think it's possible, and I think it's hilarious to think about it. The whole flight there, I'd be like, it would be so funny if it's just us three talking on the internet to each other when we could just like sit at a table.
Oh, it would be fun. Comment from Ryan Michael. The claim about AOC's net worth being in the millions has been debunked. Of course it has. Of course it has, because any reasonable, rational person that knows that she's been in a job that earns $155,000 a year for approximately 3 to 4 years cannot possibly be worth $30 million. So of course it must be debunked. Of course it must be debunked. That's like saying Nancy Pelosi, who doesn't earn a hell of a lot more, couldn't possibly be worth $200 million. So Ryan, as much as I appreciate that, I have to assume that's not coming on my channel, Joe. That's coming on yours. We attract a different element. Should I really
I told you guys not to embarrass me tonight. I was having Scott, Bella. You guys come in here with your conspiracy theories. AOC, she's for the people.
The people throw the cards. I'm sorry, dude. I'm co-opting your show and my dinner's ready, man. What else you got, dude? You want to continue down your list?
I just threw the
How
card.
about this, dude? What are you doing tomorrow?
Good question.
Come on the podcast, dude.
I'll come on. All right. I'll make it happen.
Bell, make it, pencil it in. 6 p.m. It's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern your time. She's got a goddamn ferret on her shoulder, dude. Do you see this? She's got a goddamn. I know, it's weird, man. It's like
he hasn't learned to turn around and face the camera yet.
All I need is my pet spider while we play Stratego at a Renfest, and we've hit every goddamn thing up there. Yeah, dude, come on tomorrow, man. Let's just have a nice hour-long conversation, man. We're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna unzip your fly. I'll do it for you, dude, because I'm a gentleman. All right, 26-year Navy guy. I got no problem with that, man. Let's unzip it. Let's get you on the right side of the aisle, dude, and let's see how it goes from there. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm all done talking. I'm gonna finish my booze. Go ahead, Joe. Get us out of here, dude, because we are way around the bell.
All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who joined us this evening for Crypto Inferno, we cannot thank you guys enough. This is a lot of work to try and wrangle on Joe's end. For once, I didn't have to do a lot. So definitely threw me off a little bit. Now, again, we're going to have Joe on the podcast tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Central Standard, 7 p.m. Eastern. In between now and tomorrow night, if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to reach out, because we've got both Joe's audience and the podcast audience here tonight. I'm just going to tell you guys, email any questions or comments to bella@thepodcast.com, and I'll make sure they get over to Joe and Scott.
At Gmail.
Again, cannot thank you guys enough, and we'll see you tomorrow.
That's right, guys. Tomorrow on the Podocast, I'll be wearing my vest, my bow tie, and I'll have my bourbon here. Why not?
Let's do it, dude. We're going to have a good time, man. Go.
All right. Take it easy, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Got like 300 people total. It's not bad. So they're definitely enjoying the show. And Belle, thanks for coming on.